What is going on, you dead set legends? And welcome to the Ready Bang, the number one arm wrestling show on the planet. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and I am joined by two sticks of dynamite ready to go bang. This could almost steal the show. That's right, these two genuine superstars of the sport are going head to head at Knuckles Up in 6 days. That's right, September 14th. You superstars, you are going to have a legend of the sport, worldwide superstar. You've even seen him on ESPN. He wears the heaviest watch in arm wrestling, can't keep his elbow on the table. We absolutely loving him. Of course, I'm talking about Fury. I'm talking about Craig Tullier. Craig, welcome back to the show, mate.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited.
Mate, I'm excited as well. And someone else that's just excited. Let me move. Let me give the respect to the athletes. I'll pop myself on the bottom here. That's better. And of course, he's taking on a man. He sat there and he watched his fellow countrymen get done by Craig. And he says, I'm not having it. I'm not having America beat England. So I will have a crack at Big Craig. And of course, I am talking about one of the best kept secrets in arm wrestling. I'm talking about James Brickwall. James, welcome, buddy. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, Jake. Hi, Craig. All right.
Glad to see y'all, man.
Yeah.
Craig, and I'll probably ask you again in the press conference, are you now sick of England? You go out and you beat Tom Holland, and you beat him quite convincingly, and we love Tom Holland here on the show. And then suddenly you turn around and it's like, oh, more English folk want to have a crack.
Well, you know, that's where the powerhouses are at, obviously. I mean, I've been watching, Tom through the years, and then James come on the scene, and I've been watching him, and he's been on a tear, beating a lot of people, and had that war with RVJ, and it struck a big interest in me, and I was very excited to be able to have the opportunity for me and James to get to pull, because he's a fierce puller and he's strong as heck, and whenever I got to pull with Tom, I was excited, and now I'm getting a chance to pull with James. I'm just fired up, man. It's exciting,
mate. It's going to be brilliant. And James, with you, you're always there and thereabouts. You know, you've been an Arm Wars superstar. You know, and I know you deserve to be on the big stage. How did you feel when Knuckles Up, a big time promotion, finally gave you, or big time North America, give you the call and say, mate, we want you here and we want you to pull Craig?
How did I feel? Oh, mate, it's just, it hit me really, it's just, it's like it's paying off, I've been in the sport 9 years and working really hard, and I put my life and soul into it. So to get that call to pull Craig and go on Knuckles Up, it means everything. Means everything.
Yeah. Now, I don't know why, but you sent me a text message about 10 minutes ago. I'll read it out. It says, why does Craig always look like a bitch? And I'm like, well, that was a bit. No, only joking. We got some superstars in the chat that just all want to quickly say hello, including Albin. He's in there, and my good friends from Norway, Ricard and Beata. They're up and about. And, of course, the lucky ones are up and about. They're always there in everyone's show. Huge supporters of arm wrestling, doing good things over there. We got the King in the chat. He says, Craig still ain't happy about the tax on tea. What's Roger banging on about?
Well, Roger's got this wolf hat that I told him I wanted when we was at the round robin in Arizona. He wore it, and he got to let me put it on for a little while, but I want that wolf hat.
Well, Roger Canningham's the only person I know that's thrown a live snake on an opponent. Yeah, I got the story. It's on the channel. It's in the archives. Love Roger Cunningham. Love myself some Lucha Pagliacci. And, of course, someone else that's experienced Knuckles Up, Paul Cruz. Call him Tom Cruise. Call him Cruise Control. Call him whatever you like. Paul Cruz is a good man. And, of course, we all love ourselves bit of James Beach, superstar. Hopefully, James, we can get you on Knuckles Up as well. That left arm. Maybe me and you, Jim. Maybe me and you can go head to head. Have myself a bit of Jim Beach. Craig, you've been to Knuckles Up before. What's the excitement feel like? And also, how do you compare it to old school promotions in the US like a WAL?
Knuckles Up, when they approached me last year, I was, I heard of them, and I didn't know what to really expect. And then I'm not lying to you. I mean, James, you're going to see it, man. When you get there, it is top notch. They treat you like royalty. They're so good people. You're going to feel the feeling that, I mean, you are a professional athlete, and as we are, and they treat us as we should, and it's just the whole everything around is just amazing. I mean, the production is top notch and top to all of it. I mean, I'm very impressed with it, and we've been promoting each time we have a match, and they're real good with that, and it's amazing, man. I'm really impressed.
Man, beautiful. James, are you excited? Is this your first trip into North America for arm wrestling?
Not my first trip to North America. I beat Alan Ford last year. So it's so I went to Canada last year.
Oh, Canada. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, beat Alan Ford. But this is my first time to the States. So I am excited for that. I'm really excited. I'm excited about so much, but if I'm being honest, for me, it's solely focused at the moment. So it's almost like the excitement will come maybe after the match. And,
Right.
I'm trying to put that to one side. First time in the States, first time to New York, meeting Craig, meeting everyone. But I've been honestly so focused, and especially seeing how dominant he was against Tom. I mean, that's hard to do, and that, if anything, has got me riled up even more. To be honest, even more focused for the fight. So yeah.
So what was your first thought when you sat there? And of course, when that match was announced, you were heavily invested because you already knew that you were going to pull Craig behind the scenes. And then when Craig won so dominantly, did you learn anything from it? Did it change your training? Or is it like, right, I'm in for a battle here?
It didn't change my training. It perhaps changed my mental approach a little bit, just to take this. I couldn't have taken it any more seriously, but it just maybe put me in an even deeper focus zone. That I know how prepared I'm going to have to be, and I know what zone I'm going to have to be in to beat Craig. It was really dominant. So I was a little bit surprised by the result. I thought that Tom would have. I thought there'd have been more of a war, but I've been in this sport long enough now to understand that things sometimes it's just not your day, is it?
Right. Hey, all of us have them.
Yeah. Exactly. So I felt for Tom a little bit. I thought he'd have had a bit more for Craig. But it just looked like he couldn't access anything. And so, yeah, Craig is an animal. I know he's been on a tear. He's looking fine form. But yeah, my focus is been, the main aspect for me in the last few weeks, and rehabbing a few niggles that we all have and injuries and things. And yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rumble.
So then how's the prep for you going, Craig? How's all that? Because, yeah, you had a match not that long ago, you're pulling in round robins, you're happy as soon as there's an arm wrestling event nearby. Craig Tullier is sniffing around to get his arm on the table. So for someone that's been in the sport for so long, is it just better for you to keep going? Or are you at the stage where you'd like a match, rest, recover, start a new training block?
It's funny you ask. I'm one of those people that I'm a true believer in steadily pushing and staying busy with it. A lot of times I tend to overtrain some because I'm pushing so much. My training, I had to kind of alter that because of my job and because of the type of work I do. I work a lot of long hours and it keeps you kind of taxed, And so when I'm training in the evening time and at nighttime, I'm exhausted, but I have to push through it. We have practice I've been noticing that, I've had to, after watching some of the videos of James, I've focused on a few things of my practicing and training to make sure that I'm prepared. It's been a steadily push. I had a practice just a while ago. I didn't really pull too much. I just kind of worked on some setups. And last Sunday was my last big practice. And I pulled for like 3 hours. I trained for a long period of time every time we pull.
Jesus, 3 hours. Bloody hell. James, the Maggie boys, you're training here. What's your table time to weight training ratio, and when does your rest period start?
So I'm on the table a minimum 2 times a week. But I try and get in the 3rd table session a week. 2 or 3 table sessions a week, and they last between 2 and 3 hours. Most of my lads, I've got a few strong lads, but there's no one that gives me obviously any trouble at my club. So sometimes I have to go to different clubs to, find some stronger guys. Weight training is generally every day. I tend to just do like a normal, I call it a vanity workout. It's just like a normal gym workout as well. I sort of do that on a weekly basis just to keep myself, just because I think too much arm wrestling training can sometimes limit you to movements and things. So I like to keep quite flexible. So normal gym workouts. And then I'm in my arm wrestling gym, normally sort of just for, even if it's 20 minutes in the morning, just work on a few things. If it's wrists, riser, a few little ideas, just ideas, experimenting with things. So that's always been the same, but probably in the last 6 months switched on a bit more and just working harder. And I think it's not just about working harder. I think that the longer you stay in the sport, the smarter you get. So, an hour's training a day 8 years ago would have been useless to what it is now. So I really am starting to understand my body and the mechanics of myself. And I think that I'm sort of leveling up even more now. Definitely in the last, since the match with RVJ, it taught me a lot. I did pick up an injury during that match, and since then I've definitely been pushing hard. And this match, this is the first time that I've ever tried properly tapering for a match. Last year I had about 17 super matches and tournaments, and there was no rest. It was like 1 week I was in Bulgaria, and then next week I was taking on James Stewart, or I was East versus West. There was just nothing, and I didn't have time to train or rest at all. So I don't think the last year we saw my potential at all. I was supposed to have a match with Tom Holland. I don't know if you know Craig, but I was supposed to have that match in January, just gone. At the start of this year, and he pulled out last minute for some reasons. And so while I was feeling good for that, to be honest, I was feeling really good. So I ended up going to another tournament and doing well. And then I didn't really rest for RVJ. That was just more about just sort of keeping the training going and then taking him on, really. It was a huge match for me to take on, and I loved every minute of it. But since then, I've really upped my training, and in the last 8 weeks, I've been tapering properly. I've really been feeling stronger and stronger and stronger. So I've not backed off the training time. I've just backed off what I'm doing like this. So I was pulling yesterday, but it was like you were saying, it's light, just keeping blood in the arm and the wrist and things. And I think this is I've never been so prepared for a match by far. This is out of one match. I've never been so prepared, and I've never felt so focused for a match. So I'm so looking forward to it. So
before I get to you, Craig, one more thing for you, James. Is this like, do you think this will catapult your international career if you can somehow get a win on Craig?
Or a pin? No. I have no idea, mate. I mean, it shouldn't it? I mean, Craig's proved that he's the best of the best at that weight over there. I would have thought so. I really would. But that's not down to me, is it? I would hope so. I mean, that's what I'm coming over there for. There's no doubts in my mind. I have to, there's just, purely positive, and that's it. I'm coming over there to win. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, beauty. And Craig, how does that feel? Does that add any pressure? Is that just something expected when you hear your opponent say, like, best I've ever fielded, I've never trained so hard? Is that a bit of a, all right, we're on here? Or do you just do it the Craig Tullier way?
You know, I that's what I want, man. I want to hear that, that James is coming in totally prepared and healthy and no injuries and the strongest form of him, because that's what I'm bringing to the table. And that's what I want my opponent to bring, to where when we both go to each other, it's the best man wins, and that's a good thing. It's not a good feeling inside, like when I've pulled people before, because I know, like, if I'm slightly injured, it's not my best form. So I'm not even actually showing them and giving them what, is the best form of me. So, if whenever they're coming saying they feel the best they have, and they've been, like James said, he's prepared to the best he has, that's awesome, man. That fires me up. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And if you're not motivated enough, Craig, I think this lady just might help you out enough. Your lovely wife. Bring your A game. Thank you very much.
That's
lovely,
right.
Lovely person. It was great to meet you both at the first Knuckles Up, and looking forward to it again next weekend. Craig, advantage, disadvantage, doesn't matter. Knuckles Up is now starting at 1 p.m. on the Saturday. So there's no 8 p.m. starts, delays, your fifth or sixth on the card, starting at 10 p.m., 11. You've done it as well, James. Your mid-card, you're starting at 11 p.m. at night. Is that better? Does that change your last 24 hours before the match, or is it just another day in the office? And I'll get you to answer after Craig as well, James.
So to answer that question, for me, I think it's better to start pulling like at 1 o'clock, or start the matches versus 6 to 8 or 10 o'clock at night, because I'm sure James is the same way. I'm a very amplified kind of person. So what happens is I'm fighting all day long to try to keep my composure down, because I'm wearing myself out, just getting fired up. And then say some of the matches start so late, then you're watching those, and it might even be your friend or somebody that you're trying to coach and help. And then it wears on you. By the time you get to pull, you feel fatigued already, So it's a plus for me that we're starting at 1. Now, the only disadvantage for me, and I'm gonna be honest, is my wife can't come to this time because of that. She was trying to catch a flight in. She has a concert that we both were going to be at on Friday. And so I canceled the concert, and she's not going to be able to make it to the match, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. She'll be watching from home.
What concert was it?
It's Jelly Roll.
Never heard of Jelly. I've got to look it up. Sorry, James. I'll get your answer in a moment. I need to know. Jelly Roll.
Oh, yeah.
So Jelly Roll is a female on female naked jelly wrestling championship with special guest American arm wrestler Craig Tullier. Oh, no. American. Oh, wow. Tattoos on his face and everything. There you go. There you go. Jelly Roll. Craig, James, you're not going to a Jelly Roll concert, but how do you like the 1 p.m. afternoon start?
Yeah, it'll be loads better for me. I'm not sure what will that be for me time-wise. I mean, I'll probably have acclimatized to all the time different by then, might I? Because it's a couple of days later, so probably won't make a difference. So, but yeah, generally afternoon time, it's perfect for me. Yeah, most of the last few super matches have been really, really late on, and yeah, as soon as you get past like the 8-9 p.m., it's very hard, isn't it? To stay, just everything. It's longer. You want to work out your diet, what you should eat, when you should drink. It's just it's horrendous.
Yeah. But that'll be 6 p.m. 6 p.m. your time, James. The 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's still perfect, but it's still a couple of days to sort of get used to the time difference. Do we know where we are in terms of are we middle?
I think from what I heard, James, I think we're the second match.
Second match. Okay, so
that's what I heard.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would open the show with you guys. I just think this match is going to be awesome. So start.
Yeah. Might as well start out with a bang.
That's right. No, there's just something about it. I like everything that's going on with this match. I absolutely love it. So for me, get the crowd going. You know, get them all fired up, because for those who don't know James and Craig, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, they will look nothing like this on game day.
Yeah.
You know, we'll hug each other when we meet and everything's fine. You know, I was joking around with them before the show. I was like, love you, man. Love you, man. You know, they're the two nicest people. But then just go and watch their matches. They just glass over and look completely different. They'll be all kinds of fired up. They'll be screaming at each other. Craig will have like veins popping out of his neck. Craig will have something bubbling up here on his skull, and they'll go head to head. So I would just open the show with an absolute bang, and then everyone's up and about, and then we get the rest of the card. But we'll get to the chat now. Craig, how do you feel Robbie Russell will do, considering at Knuckle Up 1, smart question by my man Levi in Japan, you pulled Svetan at the first Knuckles Up?
I think that Robbie, we did a big practice before the East versus West match, and me and Robbie pulled a lot that day. And I really do think Robbie's going to do really good. I do. You know, I tried to demonstrate to him what he will feel from Svetan. You know, like you know, I even told him, and I told, you know, Knuckles Up, that if I ever would pull Svetan, and maybe we can get to do some side pulling after the match this weekend, I would have went with a whole different approach when I pulled him than I did the first time. You know, and Robbie's got strength points that I really do think that is gonna give Svetan some trouble, and I really do think Robbie's got a really good shot. I do.
Okay. Just quickly, just want a big shout out to your wife. She's trying to buy me a Jelly Roll ticket by donating $20 to the show. She says, big over with stud, hashtag Team Tullier. Thank you very much, Denise. You dead set legend. And I'm shattered. You won't be there. So, but what will be there? Trading cards. You want to buy yourself a packet of trading cards? Marcio Barbosa, Toddzilla, Lachlan Adair, Yana Summerlands. I tell you, you need to buy it and get yourself a Knuckles Up trading card as well. I'll be bringing those, and I want to get photos of Craig and James for season 3 trading cards, because I think they would be
yeah.
But thank you very much, Denise. I'll be bringing those if you are going to Knuckles Up. If you want a packet sent to you, slide into my DMs as if I'm single. And shout out to Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler, who's asleep at the moment. We've been together 9 years today. So sucked into her because she's
happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. We've been, I think, married 6 or 7 and together for 9. Rob K is here in the chat. Carl Sagan is excited for this match. He can't wait. Now, guys, I do have the link, Knuckles Up pay-per-view. You can put in Aussie AW for 10% off. Or if you want to support your favourite athlete, either being Craig Tullier or James Wall, pop in their names. Craig Tullier for 10% off, James Wall for 10% off, and it goes to supporting them. Knuckles Up are being brilliant. They've given all the athletes and commentators code words. So, you know, check him out. So if you love Craig, don't put in Aussie AW, put in Craig Tullier. And if you love James Wall, don't put in my code word. Make sure you put in James Wall there. And thank you all the superstars for saying happy anniversary, and condolences to Jess for sticking around with me. James, is there a match on the card that you're really excited? And I'll ask you the same as well, Craig, but you can't say Robbie Russell. Is there a match on the card that you're really excited to watch, or, you know, and hope that they're kind of after you? So after your match, you can just sit there, get comfy and cozy and watch the match?
Yeah, I mean, the Marcio match is probably the one I'm looking forward to watching the most. I think that's going to be a banger. And obviously Plamins as well. You know, I'm a big fan of the 2 Bulgarians coming over. It's seems like I've I was in Ireland with them earlier this year, and I was in Bulgaria with them last year. So it's quite nice that we've joined up again, and we're going to be in, New Jersey, all of us. So yeah, I'm excited for those two matches. They're so sort of like, they're just so quiet, but just destructive on the table. They're the opposite of me. Like I said, I'm sort of quite explosive and aggressive on the table, but those two Bulgarians are just so calm. They're just calm. They put you to sleep, especially Plamen. Yeah. I don't know how he generates that much power, from just sort of like, it's just incredible. So yeah, I like watching him because he's quite an opposite of me.
I really enjoyed that team event in Bulgaria because I did the English commentary for that event. I thought that was fantastic. I mean, everyone started getting banned, and it was hilarious. I quite enjoyed it. What about you, Craig? What match are you pumped for? Or are you one of those, I'm American, so every American on the card, I need to get behind my brothers?
I've always wanted to see Marcio pull the one he's pulling out. Marcio's a good friend of mine. I've known him since I met him. He was 180 pounds when I met him at the first World Championships that I competed at. And we go way back. Marcio is a dangerous puller. And I'm anxious to see this match. I'm kind of bummed out about the Japanese girl not being able to come because I really, really wanted to see that match after seeing what she did at East versus West. That girl is phenomenal. So, Plyman, that's the other thing. I was going to ask James, did he get to pull with Plyman some? Because he's an extremely interesting arm wrestler, very strong hand, strong back pressure. I really want to watch that match too.
Yeah, I did pull him. I pulled him last year in Bulgaria when we had these there was probably 10. It was a round robin. It was like Europe versus the rest of Europe versus the Bulgarians. So they were little best of threes. And I think I had Plamen in the third round and managed to stop him, I think, in the first round. But the second round, I didn't have anything left for him at all. And he's deceivingly strong. I had a really bad first round against somebody else. I can't remember who, but it was a great experience. And then I had Jordan down the ropes. And it was so great. It was a great experience to just learn. I was just learning, and I was, I think I went there last minute. I was pulling the week before, so it was amazing. I was off one plane on another plane, and it was just incredible experience.
That's crazy. That's
awesome. So I'd love to pull Plamen one day. Actually, I would. I'd know what to do a little bit more with him, I think, now. But yeah,
it's kind of lining up. But I think that would most likely happen at Knuckles Up 5. I have a feeling, and this is only me guessing, but the winner of your match would probably take on the winner of Mario and Plamen. And if Plamen wins, I would be guessing. I would be guessing. And we've got a whole heap of superstars in the chat. Reno Massage is in there. The Drew 24 is hanging about. Jason Merlot, who's taken on a Netflix superstar on the card as well. Jason Merlot's pulled at everyone. And I tell you, get around this guy. Love Historian. Do apologise, buddy. I've been chasing these two for weeks, and it was the only time I could get them on. I hate going live around the same time Historian does. If you guys get time, check out his little documentary videos. They can go for 7 minutes, 20 minutes. They're bang on. And I don't know, James, you might have secretly met Historian in Ireland. He was there. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not giving him away. Historian, your secret is safe with me, buddy. Oh, you know how much I love you.
That's a mystery.
Get around Historian. So even Reno Massage, the superstar, world champion, he just won easily by the look of it. Gets in there. Guys, we'll only go for about another 5 or 10 minutes. These guys are really busy, and I appreciate everyone hanging about. So if you've got any questions for either Craig Tullier or James Wall, please get them in the chat. And I'll ask you both the same question. I'll start with you, Craig. Why does Craig Tullier win this match?
You know, I think that a lot of times they set a lot of matches that I get set up with. It's a lot of times a long arm top roller or somebody that's a heavily top roller. I generate a lot of side pressure and hand strength and arm strength a lot of times with the way the way I set up and pull. And I think that, James pulls the same way, from what I see. And I feel that it's going to kind of go to who's the strongest man and who gets to their position first. And I feel confidently. I know James is extremely strong. I mean, watching his matches, I'm not going into this saying that I'm just going to beat James because that's not I'm a realist. I do feel strong, and I'm very confident going into this match. But I think that it is going to go into the center where both of us want to go. So it's going to be interesting.
And what about you? Why, James? Sorry, I'm not going to ask you the same question as Craig. I'm not going to ask you why Craig wins. I'm going to ask you why James Wall wins.
So I think with this match, I think that I win because I am so hungry for this win. I am hungry, more hungry than I've ever been, more focused than I've ever been, and that's it. And I agree with Craig as well. I think but I think I've got the fight of my life on my hands. And I think, if I don't bring any of that, if I lose focus and lose heart and spirit or anything, then it's not gonna be a good day. But I'm going to bring that, and I just want it to be a bang. Well, if it goes inside, this is it. And the thing is, like we were saying earlier, that I've prepared for this match. I couldn't have been any more prepared for this match. So hope not, but if Craig wins, do you know what? The best man won. I'll be fine with that. I'll be more annoyed with myself if I messed up my diet in the last few weeks, or something in training didn't go well, or I picked up an injury, or just if something in the preparation wasn't right for this match, and then I lose, then it's like, well, I'll always think I could have won because I'll have an excuse, but there isn't any. I feel fantastic and I'm hungry, and let the best man win.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Beautiful. Right, we'll go to the chat in a minute, and then we'll talk about some of the other matches, and we'll wrap up this show. But Reno wants to know, how do these guys train for their matches? When do they start training? 1-2 months before the competition? Craig, I'll start with you.
Hey, Rhino, how you doing? Basically, I train year-round. What I do is when I do get a match offered and I'm going to do a match, I study the person that I'm pulling to try to find where their strongest points are and where their weaknesses are. And so I've been watching James since he pulled RVJ, and I've been watching all of his matches, and what I've been doing is just trying to critique how I can make James go to my power. And so it's been for months and months that I've been preparing. And when we got the match offer, I was like, perfect. Because, I've been watching him. And so I have been preparing for this match for months. Yes.
Well, yeah. So we'll get the true answer. There is no off season. all the way through. What about you, James?
Yeah, well, I agree with Denise. Really, there's no off season for me, but like this has been quite a bit of an experiment for me. This tapering, this real tapering for this match, and taking time off, and but not time away from training, just sort of building up to almost like treating like this match as like your 1 rep max. So, on the day that I know I'll be my strongest at that point, fastest and most explosive. And so this is more of an experiment for me. Like I said, most of my other super matches, it's just been experimenting with, I'll take 10 days off, nothing. And then I'll go into a super match, or I'll take 2 weeks off, or I'll not have any time to take any time off, So this for me is, I'd say certainly no like heavy, strong pulling 3 weeks before a match like this, and then just slowly taper it off. Almost like go from your weight training 3 weeks before should be like 60% strength, and then 2 weeks before it should be 40% strength. And then this week I'll probably do like 20%, which is hardly anything, but it's just still movement, still, moving the body. So a bit of an experiment for me. I'm still new.
Yeah, you bloody hell. Carl wants to know what's your walk around weight, James?
At the moment, about 90, 96 and a half, 97 this morning. So I've got to be 95 for this match. I'm not going to try and push myself and lose any weight because, there's saunas and things there. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to eat on the plane. It's almost going to be like a mini fast. I think just get a bit of water out of my body, have a flight and just see what I weigh when I get there. I think I'll be very close to 95, 96 kilos. And if I need to have a hot bath, sauna it, take another kilo off, then I'll be there. It's I'm not going to sort of like, I'm not going to try and make sure before I leave the house I'm going to be under 95. Because that's another thing I've learned in my time. I've gone to matches and competitions, and let's just say it's a 95 kilo weight class. I've stood on the scales with my clothes all on at like 93 kilos, and that really annoys me because I could have kept that weight on. So I know my body well. So I will be 95, Greg. Don't worry.
That's awesome.
And what do you do a weight cut or anything, Craig, or are you just 95 kilos?
Yeah, I've been fighting to try to all the tournaments that I've been pulling all these heavier classes. So, my normal weight's like from 185 pounds to like 192. So I've recently, because of the round robins and all that, I've gotten I'm walking around about 200 to 202. I'm under. So I'm trying. It's just hard. My metabolism's so fast.
Oh, well, I hate you then, Craig, because I look at food and put on weight. So, okay, so 200 pounds is 90.7 kilos. I had to look for normal people, who are on the metric system. So, so just a quick question. If anyone wants to answer it, I always lose power when I got my arm open. How to strengthen that more from my great friend in Norway, Beata. You guys got any idea how to strengthen?
When my arm opens. So I'd probably maybe work like the isometrics, not working out, like if you're doing bicep curls, I wouldn't necessarily, train them from sort of down here. I think I'd just work everything sort of here,
right.
Just quite close. So yeah. Really.
Yeah, I try to work different angles with dumbbells and cables. So when we're doing hammer curls, I'll do hammer curls from past 90 degrees up, and then when I do the cables, I'll come over an angle to where I'm kind of outside, and then I'll bring it all the way into my left shoulder and squeeze real hard and pull across, and that kind of strengthens you up to keep that tightness. And I think maybe that would help too.
There you go. Right, we'll go through the matches. Just one word each, guys. One word each, and I want your predictions. We'll start with James for everyone, and we'll go through them, and then we will wrap up the show because you have all been dead set legends for watching. James, Svetan and Robbie Russell.
Svetan.
Craig?
Robbie.
We'll go down. No point asking that match up there. Let me just move across so you can see this one here. So we've got Ju Mink Young and Jason Merlot, the fine wine.
Jason.
Two to Jason. Marcio Barbosa and Jordan Sonev. James, you kick us off.
Marcio.
I'm picking Marcio also. He's been my pick from day one.
Okay. Love it. Mateo Arangi, Hedda Morris, and Toshiyuki Shishido. Number one in New Zealand versus number one in Japan.
Mateo Arangi. I think if I said that right.
Yeah, I'm going with him also. I've been watching him, and he's looking really, really strong. I think that he's going to win it.
Yeah, I think he just lost left arm. Yeah, I think he just lost left arm to Ryan Espy on the weekend. Here we go. Speaking of Ryans, Ryan Bowen and Andre Sharkovic.
Ryan.
Andre.
Yeah. There we go. Absolutely love it, guys. Let me just get rid of that. Now, we've asked everyone in the chat who's going to win. We've got a poll. And 85% think that Craig's going to win. 85%.
I love it. Every poll is always the same with me. So it's always the same. I love it.
Don't sweat that, James. Don't sweat that. I've had it happen with me on different guys too. Don't even sweat it.
Yeah.
They're good fun. I absolutely love doing them. And yeah, can't wait to see you as well, Paul. Always good to catch up with you, mate. And of course, the predictions have come in. Robbie, Jason, Marcio, Toshiyuki, Andre, and Craig. And last one, does anyone think that the Australian Mario Tambakis can beat Plamen Dimitrov?
I think his hand's going to be the problem. My pick.
Yeah, I picked Plamen because of the hand control.
Yeah, if it went inside, it could possibly be different. But
yeah, from feet, Plamen is almost unhookable unless you're 3 weight classes above you, like Jordan sort of strength levels, and he's very unhookable. But
who knows? That's what we're going to love. But the one thing we are going to love is Craig Fury Tullier taking on James Brickwall. It is happening September 14th, 1 p.m., Fort Lee, New Jersey. And if you can't make it there, then get over to the pay-per-view. The link is in the description. You can get 10% off by entering your favorite athlete's code word. It is going to be brilliant. It is cheap as chips. 7 absolute bangers. You cannot kill Knuckles up there like a cockroach. They will just keep on going. Do all the bands and the stupid things that you want. They're going to keep putting on events, and they're going to keep booking the best talent in the world. And Aussie Arm Wrestler will be there calling the action with Big Loz, Lauren Chalet, and Hollywood, Don Underwood. It is going to be awesome. Cannot wait for this matchup. Craig, James, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you for having us, man. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see y'all. And James, I can't wait to get on the table with you, bro.
Likewise, Craig. Can't wait, mate. Take care.
Y'all take care, man.
Cheers, buddy.
Beautiful.